two men out of all the 6 million or so that participated in this war saw to it that the Union stayed together. President Lincoln, by appointing Grant, and Grant by having a single mind to do the job he was given, period. And Lincoln went to promote Grant to Lieutenant General, the first Lieutenant General of the Army since George Washington, and the second Lieutenant General only by that time. When he was thinking of promoting him, he went out to friends of Grant's to find out what his political aspirations would be if promoted. They all told the president flat out, this man doesn't want anything to do with politics. Okay? Now, in 67, 68, you know what happens on the 14th of April, 65? Okay? We not only lose a great president, we gain one of the worst to ever exist. A man named Andrew Johnson. A man who wants to put the darkies back in the slavery bottle, even if he doesn't call it slavery. Okay? He's the one who dismantles the congressional effort to Reconstruction. Reconstruction really does not begin until March 4th, 1869, when Grant takes office. Okay? Johnson is basically disregarding everything Congress has set up as far as the Reconstruction was concerned. He pulled the rug out from under the Army. Any general that was doing what they were supposed to was literally fired. The ones that were in charge of different districts throughout the South. And it was very despicable. Grant actually wanted Johnson impeached, but it's a good thing he wasn't. It's the old pad to pocket thing.
Well, unfortunately, they always say he's a good general doesn't make a good president all the time. So.
But he was a great man as a president. He was quiet. There was graft going on around him. There were problems, and he's getting nailed for those when they don't belong to him. They just happen to come. Most of them were the Johnson era, but they didn't come to light until Grant was president. Okay, but nonetheless, he was not a hard drinker. Yes, he did go on a binge occasionally. Which one of us doesn't take too much to drink every now and then? Okay, but normally speaking, he would only have a sip of, or a glass or two at night. It's been documented that he would stop by on his way to bed from his office, at his artillery commander's tent. This is out in the Western Campaign, and have a short whiskey or a shot or two, I should say, is a better word for it. And then go to bed. Okay, and it's also been documented, that he did go on one binge, but he never ever even touched the stuff when he was working. And when he was promoted to president, by the way, he did not want the job. But in a letter in '68 that he wrote to his friend Cum Sherman, if I do not accept the nomination and we allow a politician to run, we will lose everything we worked 4 long, hard years to win. That's how bad the politics between the North and the South had devolved. The politicians would have torn the South apart, probably sending it into a guerrilla war that we would never have been able to come out of. In the individual states. The North would have dissolved too, if we had allowed the politicians to continue. So he was oil on the very troubled waters of post-Civil War America. And he did some very important things. I guess you could call it the Depression of '73, I think it was, when those New York gold merchants were, trying to corner the market. He was an unwitting participant in that, but when he became knowledgeable of what was happening, he and a congressman from Massachusetts, which was at that time his Secretary of the Treasury, did what two men could do just to ease that troubled times. Basically, they were doing what we just going through ourselves. They put a the corner on the gold market, right? Run the price way up, and then when it came time to sell, they dumped and everybody else lost their shirt. That's, that happened, and then the country was very badly hurt. But when he got wind of what was happening, in other words, these people, you knew him, shook hands with him. So then you shake hands with me, and you go out and say, I know Grant, great guy. He's behind us all the way. He didn't say anything like that. But the person you're talking to doesn't know that, right? So therefore, you get their money, and
Well, I'll tell you so much. I wish I had a few more grants in my pocket instead of Washington's. I'll tell you that. Thank you.
you have a good day.
All right.